why the fuck did you decide to jump in sales?
Yeah, I worked at Tesco's for 4.5 years, and I quite literally had enough. I was getting kind of not abused by my manager, but I just got fed up of people speaking to me like shit. So I quit and found online sales.
How did you?
I saw a YouTube video. Started looking into it and literally looked for like 3 months to try and find an offer. I was broke, skint. I had a long ass mullet. It was really bad.
You were making how much at Tesco?
About £1,300 a month, which is what, 2k USD a month.
So you did that for 6 months, and then what was it that made you realise you wanted to get into clothing?
To be honest, I didn't know if I really wanted to get into clothing. I was going to run like a DM setter offer, and then I went to Marbella, met you, and you made me take a call.
Oh yeah, I did remember that. I made you take your first sales call in Marbella. You got $500. You closed him for $500, didn't you?
Nothing.
Was it £1,000? Yeah, you closed him for £1,000. See, there you go. Put yourself around the right people. You closed your first motherfucking deal. I'm trying to think of the word. I suppose learn previously in the basic mentorship compared to like what you've seen here.
So that's a very good question. I was looking for like an edge. I was looking for something like drastically different than anything that I had done before. That's why I reached out to you and the other guy as well, because both of you seem to have a little bit of an edge. The biggest thing was like what sold me, to be honest, was the whole like limiting belief. And I sent you this in the DMs as well. Always like, talked about the problem and the pain that a prospect might be having. And I was like, fuck, that's a new thing. I was like, maybe, yeah, that makes sense. And I could start seeing how I myself had a lot of limiting beliefs about stuff, and I was like, fuck, yeah. I think that was the biggest thing for me.
So obviously you're on a good offer now. The business owner, how did you get on that offer, by the way?
That was through you. I have so much to be thankful for, my man. Honestly, man, Kurt, I haven't gotten the chance to, I don't know if we're doing this now or not, but I haven't gotten the chance to thank you, bro. Honestly, like, you've been massively, massively helpful. I had a lot of uncertainty with a lot of things that I was going through as well personally when just before I made the switch to come and obviously do this with you, coached by you. But you were super genuine in the way that you approached, like talking to me, and like I could really feel that you were operating from like a place of I really want to help.
There's the main man, Eladio. Appreciate you, bro. A massive respect. So in the future, if anybody wants to work with Eladio, there you go. There's his name. Just give people like your journey, like of into high ticket sales and like your transition to obviously making a record month.
Yeah, it's quite a long one, to be fair. Like I came into this space in basically joined the space and ended up going into a program, and it was good. It got me the basics and got me skin in the game ultimately, and basically took me into this, I would almost call it like another universe of this whole like online people making money and people making crazy money, and I'm like, what on earth am I doing in my job? So the next day I handed in my notice, quit my job, like literally immediately, because I was like, I want to go all in on this. Everyone thought I was stupid and crazy, as most people will when you do that stuff and start venturing out of the normal. And then just went on a whole journey of just essentially like not leaving my room and doing anything too crazy, just literally staying in one spot and trying to learn and just absorb and be around as much as I could. And it was good. Went from like setter, closer, did all of this. Never made anything crazy.
Savage. Well, there you have it, my good friends, handsome people over the internet. Seb Bowman, 22k in comms at 22 years old. Good shit, bro. Well done. Keep making your mum proud, keep making yourself proud, and keep making me fucking proud. All right, gangster?
Appreciate that, bro.
So, who we've got with us here today? A good friend. He's been on a long journey with me along this way. His original story, when I first met him, is he was my DM setter. Very good DM setter at that, an excellent one. He actually transitioned with me from Tuzla's to Sean's offer, and he's been really fucking good at what he does. And then ever since he got to a point where he realized DM setting wasn't going to give him the money he wants. He'd watched some of my conversations and he really enjoyed the ability to be able to run a good discovery. And then a couple of months down the line of having enough of being a DM setter, he'll share his own story, but like a couple of months into being a DM setter, then he decided to transition into full remote closing. Now we've got an excellent interview. James is a good friend. He's an excellent representation of somebody that's actually committed to becoming great. There's been a couple of times where I've had to give it him in the neck for obviously bad behaviours, so that's kind of been nipped in the bud. But now he's on one of the biggest offers in the space that I placed him on, and he's just recently collected biggest commission month of September, and then before that he collected his biggest month ever before that. So I'll let him share his own personal insights, his personal story, and hear it from his own fucking words. So just remember, whether it's 9 to 5, DMs, phone setting, remote, currently a closer that's making 5 to 7 to 10 grand a month, and you want to obviously improve your skill set and actually get better in your conversations, you know where to go. So let's get the main man of the hour, Mr. James Mchuan, in the house. Let's get him in, gents. Got a great mustache. This is Zach Zalahat. Zach Zalahat. If anybody knows Zach, Zach's a lethal weapon in the industry. Zach actually got him James on his first ever role. So here he is, main man, Mr. Mchuan. Mr. Kwan? Or is it Mchuan? Before you jumped in, I kind of shared some like personal insights, like how we kind of met, what kind of a journey we've been on, how long we've kind of been together and stuff like that, and then I didn't really give them too much insights to what you've made, but I told them obviously you've kind of made your commission month last month and the month previously, if I'm not mistaken. I think what would be a good starting point is if you kind of reflect on like your story, because there's probably somebody out there that's listening to this that is in a similar experience or is on a similar journey of 9 to 5, or at least not making the money they want to in sales. So I suppose from like your perspective, what is like your actual personal story and why the fuck did you decide to jump in sales?
I worked in Tesco for 4.5 years.
Why not Morrison?
That was Tesco for 4.5 years.
No, why not Morrison?
Why not? Tesco's better, mate. I worked in Tesco's for 4.5 years, from 16 till about 20-ish, and I quite literally had enough. I was getting kind of not abused by my manager, but I just got fed up of people speaking to me like shit. So I quit and found online remote high ticket sales.
How did you?
I saw a YouTube video.
Oh my god, you're gonna watch now.
Yeah, pretty much. I found a YouTube video and I started looking into it and literally looked for like 3 months to try and find an offer. I was broke, skint. I had a long ass mullet. It was really bad. Literally looked homeless.
What was going through your mind at that point?
I almost gave up. Like I was still looking for other jobs. I was still looking for jobs and everything alongside that, and then I rolled across an offer. But I knew I didn't really want to work for someone else again. So
you were making how much at Tesco?
About £1,300 a month, which is what, 2k USD a month.
So hard to visualize that now as well, because like I used to make £2,500.
So bad. I don't know how people live off it.
And then you left that. You got, what was it, a role? You got a DM setting role, or did you go straight into closing? I
got a DM setting role, and I was a DM setter for 6.5 months. I enjoyed that. I was setting for the main man.
I actually did mention that before you came in, because we've kind of been on a journey of like we were working together in a way of like you would set me calls, you were my DM setter, and then obviously you transitioned to closing.
Yeah,
but you were a really good fucking setter as well.
Yeah, we had a good connection there for sure.
You were obviously because that's powerful as well. Like you understood how to speak to people, and you set really good quality calls. Like I think some of the best calls that I've had, like Brock comes to mind, for example. Has been some like my favorite sales calls that I've ever taken, just because obviously you built that previous rapport, so they come into the conversation way open, which is a skill set in itself to be able to set people on your calendar, on a closer's calendar, that are actually ready in a position to obviously buy and actually are primed to like the conversation that you've had. So I think that's like a skill set in itself. What were you making as a DM setup?
Honestly, at the top end, I think it was about 5 US.
Yeah.
to be honest. I think about 5, maybe at the top end on a good month. I think, which it was still a massive upgrade from Tesco, to be honest. But again, it still wasn't enough.
So you did that for 6 months, and then what was it that made you realise you wanted to get into clothing?
To be honest. Well, I didn't know if I really wanted to get into closing. I was going to run like a DM setter offer, and then I went to Marbella, met you, and you made me take a call.
Oh yeah, I did. Do you remember that? I made you take your first sales call in Marbella. You got $500. You closed him for $500, didn't you?
It was $1,000, I think.
Was it $1,000? Yeah, you closed him for $1,000. See, there you go. Put yourself around the right people. You closed your first motherfucking deal.
Yeah, exactly. And then I took a couple more whilst we were out there, and I closed. I think I only took like 4. I closed 3 out of 4 there, I think. And the other one, I think came in later on. So.
And then what? You realised that you kind of had at least like an insight to like, okay, you might actually be pretty good at this. You could probably make some decent money.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was the fact going from 5% even just to 10% was like, holy shit, I'm now making double. So it was like, might as well do it. And I knew I could do it because I came in and just did it, you know.
Yeah, fair. Obviously, that's most of the people that are watching this, they just don't give a fuck about anything else other than the facts of what you actually made. So, like, I believe last month was probably your record month, and then the month before that was a record month as well. I'll let you share that, but I think on the vlog today, when we was out in Tulum, you actually sent me a screenshot. You sent me a text, and it was actually perfect timing because like Clay was recording me. And I think you'd said something. What did you say? Let me say it because I'll put it up on the screen now so people can see it.
Which one?
Yeah, I'm going to clear 16k in comms this week, which was my last month comms in total. Yeah. So just want to say a massive thank you. So like you actually did 16.
I did 17 that week.
So you did 17k comms in a fucking week.
Yeah, which was my month before commissions.
What were you sort of thinking at that point?
Got to fucking hit 20. To be honest, got to hit 20, got to hit 30.
Because like 17k comms, it's like you said, that was your previous month of commissions, and most people actually desire to make even 15 grand of comms in a month. Never mind like 16k and 17k in a fucking week. Yeah. But like you, with that offer, so like you did 17k comms in a week, but like how much did you actually finish on last month in total then?
22 and a half.
22, and that's like the most you've ever made?
Yeah, ever. Yeah. It's pretty insane.
And then the last month you obviously did 17k in comms as well.
The month before that I did 17, yeah.
Yeah, see what I mean? So it's like there's a consistency behind it at least as well. So it's like 17k to then 22k in comms. Yeah. And then in total, like you've been in closing for like, well, you've not even been in closing, like what, 6 months? Like if that, totally? Maybe a little bit more?
A bit longer.
Fair, right? So you did 17k comms and then you did 22k in comms. It doesn't really matter what it is, but some people, it takes some people like 3 to 4 years to even get to that fucking point. So the whole idea of like being here is to kind of ramp that up as quick as we fucking can. How did you actually get placed onto that offer? Because I think that's a big hesitation. What I get in the DMs a lot of the time, like people are unsure and can you get me on offer, stuff like this. I'm like, well, I can. But like, don't rely on me too much because it's not like a fucking that leaves you out of control. But go on.
No, I actually. Well, it was obviously you placed me onto the offer. I was on an offer before, and I wasn't really making what I wanted to be making, but I was comfortable. And I think, to be honest, for a lot of people in the space, they settle for what they are already on because they're used to it. And I think I asked you before to get on it, and then you were like, yeah, let's do it. And I pussied out. And then I just kind of hit a wall and I was like, fuck this. And
the definition of comfort for anyone is when you feel at peace of mind. So what he's getting at is if you haven't accomplished the things that you want and you can't support the people that are important to you, then if you don't feel a peace of mind of not having those things, then what about that is comfortable? Because a lot of you guys tell yourself you're comfortable, but what the actual word is you're looking for is settling.
Yeah.
So the man, the myth, the legend, James Mchuan, the masterclass in DM setting to now full sales savage in closing from $5K a month to $22,000 last month. What a fucking gent. Any last shout out? How can people find you if they want to search you up and see more behind your face?
Instagram, to be honest. It's just James
Well, give
McEwen.
it them then.
What?
Give it them then.
James S. McEwen. Oh, James McEwen.
James S. McEwen, there you go. So check him out on Insta. You'll see all of his travelling photos, all his reels, all his stories. And you'll see his new car as well.
When I get it, I need to pick it up.
So massive shout out to the main man, James. Let's go on to fucking get to 30K month, whatever it fucking takes. Let's go change more fucking lives, and let's go and help some more fucking people. Easy
Wonderful.
peasy.
Done.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, my friend.
What's the ending? Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
There we go. Fucking squeeze it. There you go, gents. That's another testimonial in the back pocket for STS. It's been a pleasure. It's been a treat. It always will be. See you later, gangsters. So, who do we have with us here today? We have a Spanish mastermind known as Eladio. Eladio has been with me a short while. Eladio is a person that likes to go back and forth with himself, that likes to he's very big on like congruency, which is good. And I remember when he first came to me, he was very back and forth with himself, but then he was battling with himself because of how much he aligns with like congruency. He'll give you some insights on his story, of course, and like he's an MMA fighter as far as I believe. I've seen some of his pictures. Jacked, ready to go, the kind of person that I like in the group, because those guys, what they've done outside of sales is a good reflection of how good they'll do inside of sales. So I'm going to introduce you to the Spanish mastermind, who is Eladio. He'll share some insights on like what he's recently done, his commissions and stuff like that, because I know most of you guys are. Unfortunately, that's how you guys get dopamine. You like to hear other people's results so you can see how far you can take yours. So let's welcome the main man of the hour. So, my Spanish friend, tell the handsome people out there who you are, and I suppose like your insights to like your journey into the sales space so far.
Yeah, so I'm Eladio. I've been obviously in sales now for just a little bit over a year, like a year and a month, pretty much. It started with like the basic, programs like mentorships, like basic stuff, pretty much just getting into the space, finding an offer and how to apply for one and this and that. Basic like frameworks as well, stuck to a script, all of that good stuff. And then, made some okay money. Like my second month in closing, I did like $7,000 and then just 10 and then back to 7 and stuff like that. But, I knew deep down that I wasn't having like very genuine conversations with people. I knew that they were just pretty much closing because maybe the offer that I was on was good or whatever. And that didn't fill me with a lot of confidence as a closer. Tried a few more mentorships and then I was like pretty lost a little bit. And I was like, reached out to you and this other guy, and the way that you were just texting with me in the DMs, just fucking, it was enough. I was like, yeah, this is the real deal.
Actually, that's a good point, because I actually remember that, by the way.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, because I mentioned at the start of this, like you were back and forth with yourself when we jumped on a call, didn't we? And I remember you were back and forth with yourself a little bit, but I completely forgot about the fact that we were in the DMs and I was objection handling the shit.
Yeah, the call was it's funny because the call, when I jumped on the call with you, I was already done. I was already closed. I was just ready to kind of get started, right? But the way that you were texting me in the DMs just making me realize that I was just delaying for no reason, and I was just, not congruent with the guy that I wanted to be. That was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. That's fair. When you were, I suppose, describing the previous mentorships, you defined them as basic. Why did you use that word?
Because I feel like it's a lot of like copy paste everywhere. I feel like it's like, for anybody that's been closing, I feel like the a little bit of the like not NEPQ, but like the more like common frameworks. I feel like every single I did like 3 programs, and I feel like every single one was just like a copy paste of that in just a slightly different way. But it was never like about actually like understanding the prospect's perspectives, understanding challenging. For example, I'd never challenged a motherfucker before. Like I never did that, like ever. And it was like when I got into this with you, and I start to challenge people and they respect me for it, and they see what I'm doing, like, yeah, that was a game changer for sure.
It's not that you're just challenging though. It's like you're doing it in with the right intentions behind it, and actually doing it in a way where it allows them to see what they couldn't before, which is like your job. So if you can do it in that way, that's when you start having the conversations that you actually want to have, and you make the commissions you want to make. What was I going to ask you then? Because you mentioned something good. What would you say is the significant difference between what you've, I don't think of the word, that I suppose learned previously in the basic mentorship compared to like what you've seen here?
So that's a very good question. I was looking for like an edge. I was looking for something like drastically different than anything that I had done before. That's why I reached out to you and the other guy as well, because both of you seem to have a little bit of an edge. Now, the biggest thing was like, what sold me, to be honest, was the whole like limiting belief thing. Like, and I sent you this in the DMs as well, right away as I joined. I was like, hey, I've only been going after pain. Like I've always like, talked about the problem and the pain that a prospect might be having. But I never really understood that, hey, you could have had a lot of pain, but if that pain has been around for like 5 years, then at some point something else is wrong as well. Something else is not adding up, right? And I was like, fuck, that's a new thing. I was like, maybe, yeah, that makes sense. And I could start seeing how I myself had a lot of limiting beliefs about stuff, and I was like, fuck, yeah. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Like,
That's
yeah.
That's fair. It's good that you pointed out, because most people think a conversation or a sale is made on pain. Not really though, because like a prospect can be well aware of the pain for like the past 10 years, and if they've been aware of that, that usually means that they've not done anything about it, right? So what's the cause of that? If you've been aware of the pain for 10 years and you've not changed it, what's the cause of that? So like once you figure that out, then you've got the actual problem, so then you can help them problem solve. That's when you actually start getting sales, not because you found a little bit of fucking pain, which most people would like to teach you to do so, but like it's not always the way. So like most people have got problems with like dopamine, they've got problems with like paying attention, and they're just little junkies to hear what you made. So like, how would you say your commissions have actually increased? Like what did you do last month, for example? And then
18K if you put in total what I had from a previous offer a few months before as well. So 18K in total.
You did 18K, easy. What you collected a ton in cash as well, didn't you?
Yeah, not too much. 205K.
Not too much. I suppose the business owner was upset with that then, that you collected 205K in a month.
No, it was for sure a personal record for myself, for sure, by far.
Easy. There you go then. And then this month, had we not some of the experiences that you obviously had in the past week, 100% for sure you would have collected 30 grand this month.
100%. I did already 100K collected in the first 8 days of this month. And then it just happened to slow down a little bit, but I'm still on pace to hit at least 2025.
You did what in the first few days?
I did 100K cash collected in the first 8 days.
In the first 8 days? Like, what the fuck? That's like 10K commissions in 8 days. The fact that you probably made a record month as well has got a play into that, because like once you have that momentum or that confidence, it just gives you way more detachment, and you're there for the right reasons instead of trying to worry about the money you can make as well. And that's where a lot of confidence comes from sometimes. Did you have any misconceptions about like, because if you've invested in a lot of sales training, do you have any misconceptions about this just being, I know you did because you had a couple of objections, but like what were the main misconceptions that you associated to me, or like what were the biggest concerns?
I guess the biggest concern was that I had known you for like 24 hours, I think.
You
I was,
did that
I was
better.
like, Kurt, I just saw a video of you, and you were like, hey man, like, and the way that you were talking to me just made sense. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just trying to, get certainty. But, the biggest misconception was, no big misconceptions, to be honest. Just kind of like the trust thing. Like, I'd seen your YouTube videos. I knew you were really good, really sharp from those videos, but I was still like on the fence. And you kind of made me realize that, and it was something very specific that you said, and I still remember it. Like, I still have that screenshot of the DMs, and you said like, the top closer, something along the lines of the top closers, they don't wait around for more certainty. They have that already within them internally. So they trust themselves to do what they need to do with the help that they can get to where they want to go. And like, obviously I knew already what the program entailed, and I knew it was going to help me. I just knew it. So I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And then that was it.
That's fair. So on the flip side of that, because this is laggy as fuck. On the flip side of that, there's probably somebody else with the same objections. What kind of clarity would you like to give them so that they can have their own clarity?
Oof, that's a good one. Oof, that is a good one. So the biggest thing is like, first of all, be honest with yourselves. Like, you probably need more help than you realize, first of all. Second of all, obviously don't try and just think of where you're at now and who you are now, but really sit down and envision who you want to become, what kind of money you want to make. Not just the money, but who do you have to become in that process to make that money? And then see what kind of traits you have to align with. And one of them is going to be to obviously invest in yourself. And now, there's never going to be anything, like there's never going to be a case where you have 100% certainty that one specific program is going to help. But that's the whole part of being a closer, an entrepreneur, a risk taker, is that you pretty much just fucking grab the opportunities that you have by the balls, and then you just pretty much run with them. And you do the best that you can with what you have. The sooner you can realize that, the sooner you'll actually start to align yourself with that version of you that you want to become. 100%. That's what I believe.
Eladio basically just spoke to himself like 3 months ago.
Correct. 100%, man. That's what I needed right there. That's what you told me. No, like real shit. That's what you told me, and I needed that push, because otherwise I would never have done it. I would just been stuck in my own ways, because I was.
Yeah, that's fair. To be fair, you've been, because you were an MMA fighter previously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely a good alignment with the type of people that I would like in this community, like people like yourself, that who they are outside of sales is a good reflection of like who they are inside of sales as well. Like, your attitude and mentality to just want to be on calls, make sure you make money, that make record commissions, break record commission months, and then obviously actually help people as well. Pretty in alignment with like the type of people that I want in the program. So it's like my job to challenge you to actually step into that as well. As like a coach, that's like my job to actually help you to become that person, as well as you doing with your own actions. So
yeah, because you would have let me down if you didn't.
There you go.
No, honestly, like
There
if you wouldn't have nudged me in the right direction, you would have been letting me down. That's facts right there.
Yeah, that's fair. So massive respect, massive shout out to my main man Eladio. In the future, any business owners that, or anybody that obviously wants to work with Eladio, how do they find yourself?
Well, pretty much on IG, on Instagram, eladio.bravo with 2 V's on Instagram, and yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest. I'm gonna start growing my social media soon, I think, but not for now. Yes, I will. There
you go. So obviously you're on a good offer now. The business owner. How did you get on that offer, by the way?
That was through you. I have so much to be thankful for, my man. Honestly, man, Kurt, I haven't gotten the chance to I don't know if we're doing this now or not, but I haven't gotten a chance to thank you, bro. Honestly, like you've been massively, massively helpful. I had a lot of uncertainty with a lot of things that I was going through as well personally when just before I made the switch to come and obviously do this with you, coached by you. But you were super genuine in the way that you approached like talking to me, and like I could really feel that you were operating from like a place of I really want to help, and that just anybody that's watching, I don't know if this is you're gonna include this, but like you want to be around people that actually have the best intentions. And do you always know that before doing it? Maybe not, but you can kind of tell if you've been through and talked to enough people. So massive fucking thank you, Kurt. Honestly, man, you've fucking changed my life. I appreciate you.
There we go, bro. Appreciate it. This thing is laggy as fuck. Let me stop this. There's the main man, Eladio. Appreciate you, bro. A massive respect. So in the future, if anybody wants to work with Eladio, there you go. There's his name. Give people like your journey like of into high ticket sales and like your transition to obviously making a record month.
Yeah, it's quite a long one to be fair. Like I came into this space in April 2024, and when I came in, do you want like the sort of full journey, or do you want it?
Yeah, got people want to hear your experiences, Seb.
All right. So I was in tech sales. I hated like uni, school, all of that, and wanted to just go straight into work. So went into tech sales, and it was good, but it was just typical like corporate stuff, 9 to 5, like working in an office, people you don't really like, and a lot of the sort of being dangled the carrot by my boss and people sort of higher up at the time, and capped commissions, all of that typical stuff that some people watching this may be able to relate to. And I was one of the people that have, I would say, more of sort of a rare kind of person. Like quite a lot of people I've come to meet in this space have tried many different online business models for, like I've never done Amazon, I've never done e-com, like I've never had an agency, like I've never done anything online about making money. And I came across high ticket sales, and I was like, at first, when it was all like, these crazy commissions back in, 2024 as well, I was like, it's a load of crap. I didn't really like look too much into it. And then a couple months later, I got hit with another ad, and I was like, at the time, I literally just had the carrot dangled again. So I was like, I'm gonna actually listen to this and see how it plays out, and went and basically joined the space, and ended up going into a program, and it was good. It got me the basics, and got me skin in the game ultimately, and basically took me into this, I would almost call it like another universe of this whole like online people making money, and people making crazy money. And I'm like, what on earth am I doing in my job? So the next day I handed in my notice, quit my job, like literally immediately, because I was like, I want to go all in on this. Everyone thought I was stupid and crazy, as most people will when when you do that stuff and start venturing out of the normal. And then just went on a whole journey of just essentially like not leaving my room and doing anything too crazy, just literally staying in one spot and trying to learn and just absorb and be around as much as I could. And it was good. Went from like setter, closer, did all of this. Never made anything crazy. Like was probably doing like around sort of like 3 to 4K. And even then, for me at the time, I was like matching sort of around what I was doing in corporate, like online and in this space. And I was like, that's just like crazy. But obviously, you want to really ramp it up. Took a little bit of a break to go and have like a side business with a friend. Won't go too much into that, but again, money was decent. And then really sort of hit home when I got to a point when I reached out to sort of, well, I didn't actually go straight to UK. I went for a friend, but came sort of, what was it? It was around, so yeah, it was around May, I want to say, sort of mid to end of May, 2025. I was getting to a point where I've like, freed up a lot of time within the business, and I can go and do something else. I want to go back to closing, but this time I wanted to make it, I say work, like just like hit the months that I wanted to, and really be a part of that. And I came across yourself through a connection, obviously, Nick, and was like, if I want to do this, I want to learn from the best, and I want to learn from someone who's ultimately achieved what I want to do. And if I can just learn and be around that type of person and group, then there's no reason why I can't get there given I put the work in. And that was the position I really wanted to put myself into. So was like, Nick, send me the payment link. I didn't even speak to yourself from the start. I was like, I've seen enough of your content on YouTube. I like binge watched it all, watched all your Instagram, and I was like, yeah, I just need to get around this guy and learn from this guy. Like, I don't need anything else. Like, just get me in, you know, um, your network and your environment and learning from you, and I just will learn the rest, and it will go from there. So, joined end of May. And at that point, just literally never turned back again. Just went straight into grind mode, learning, being around it, and yeah, that's pretty much it since then. So
Yeah. Because you were fucking about, you were not fucking about, I think the offer was the biggest problem in the beginning, like trying to get on an actual solid offer.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Obviously, with me kind of helping or supporting AI in a way, I remember you reaching out for it. What was your thought process like behind wanting to get on AI?
yeah. I mean, it was quite an interesting one. I remember when you messaged me, and at the time, like you've seen all the people and the other guys in STS on AI, and I'm like, well, obviously works, right? And for some reason, there was just something inside of me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm quite ready yet because I was fairly new into STS. And I was like, I just don't know if I'm ready. So I didn't really put myself forward. But then you messaged me, and I was like, you know what, I can't, I can't say no. So I went for it, and yeah, if that wasn't for you reaching out and sort of giving me that nudge, like, look, come on, you can do this. I'd say put yourself forward. Then yeah, we probably well, we would still have this conversation, but it'd probably be later down the line. So yeah.
That's fair. Um, it's a difficult offer as well, though, bro. It's like I was saying before it kind of cut out. It's not the easiest offer. It requires like a genuine mentality, a good attitude to be on it.
Yeah.
And I think your attitude has been probably a good reflection of like what it takes to actually win in this space. Like
Oh yeah.
regardless of how many times you get kicked in the teeth, like you'll just fucking keep on doing the inputs regardless.
Yeah.
Um, that's a really important part of STS as well because like I've been through the shit. I know what it's like. So you guys have to go through the shit as well. So tough shit, right? That's how it works. That's how you build character.
100%. Like when I joined, and just to touch on that, like when I joined AI, like my first 3 weeks I didn't get a close, like I didn't get a sale, not a deposit, like no money came through like in the first 3 weeks, and I was losing my mind. Like I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like, there was so much sort of pressure because pressure I wanted, I had like targets and stuff I wanted to hit, and I was just like, I just need to get the first sale out of the way, and then like the floodgates will open. And that's one thing I'll say as well. The sort of first 3 weeks, and then which carried into August, like my first month, I was with a fellow member of STS, and he was my manager, and there were some of the other STS boys on that team, and that was probably the best sales manager I've ever worked with out of the whole time I've been in the space, and combining that with the knowledge from Kurt and everything in STS was just that was the biggest thing for me. I think working with Nikki, and as well as that one to one with yourself, Kurt, like I literally still read the notes from that today when we had that one to one, like was so helpful, and it really allowed me to ultimately achieve what I wanted when I came in here. Is like I just need to listen from these people, implement, and the success will come as long as I keep putting the work in. And that was the environment I got myself into and was allowed to like be in through yourself and Nikki, and yeah, that was it. So yeah, really helpful.
Good lad. Um, in all honesty, like whether we like it or not, there's you can say all the right things. You can say that you made 22K in a month. You can say that we've supported you.
Mhm.
Um, and to somebody out there, it might sound really fucking good, but they're still going to be in their own way. Like if you had to give like not just because I'm here, like a genuine, honest reflection of like what you've experienced in the group itself, like STS, like how would you play that out in your own mind?
Yeah. hands down, it's the best investment I've ever made. Like I remember when I was sent the payment link and I was sat there and I was looking at it, and to me in the position I was in at the time, it wasn't going to take food off the table, but it was definitely the largest investment I'd make into myself. And I was just staring at the payment link for a couple minutes, like just on the evening I got sent it, and I was just staring at it, and I was like, I know I want to do this. This is exactly where I want to be, but I'm like, the reality is starting to hit of like, am I going to step into that version and join? And I literally just said to myself, do I value my money more than this opportunity? And I just looked back at the payment link and I was like, what am I doing? Like tap it just straight away and buy it. And I think that's what I would say to anyone as well. Like literally, do you value your money more than the opportunity? Because I've seen insane ROI in this from, yeah, okay, a financial point of view, but also like mentally, the environment, everything is priceless. Like the level of training you get is next level. Like the content's there. I've actually still got some to go through. There's that much, and the calls, just everything. Like it's so good. And one thing as well, like which just really shows. I don't know if you want to put this in, Kurt, but like I remember seeing in the offer board when you brought in Jackson to give more offers to people, which again is huge. But also when you were saying about like if anyone needs a hand with anything, I'll even give like a Loom testimonial video and stuff like that. Like I don't know any of the coaches, gurus, the people we know in this space that would actually go to that level and record a Loom video for someone to help them try and get on a roll. Like that just is levels above everyone else at such a minuscule level, and it just shows you as a person. Like it really does. How much you care. So yeah.
To be fair, I didn't. It's funny that people. It's actually quite funny that people notice that. Because I know what it's like to struggle in high ticket sales, and I don't want people to struggle because I know what it's like to struggle. I know how it feels. Um, Thank you, sir. That was probably the second nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. My mum once said I was handsome, but like that was about it. It's probably I'm fucking me. But no, I appreciate that, Seb. Like I was saying before you come in, like your energy, your mentality, your attitude, who you are as a person is the perfect reflection of like who I want in the group and who I want to be surrounded with. So I appreciate your kind words, and it's now time for you to go on and make another record month, motherfucker.
Yeah, definitely, bro. 100%.
I appreciate you, Seb, a lot. I remember when we first you made the investment. I remember I didn't actually do like onboarding calls, but I don't know why I wanted to speak to you for some reason. I think Nick said you were a young guy and like you were obviously a little bit unsure. So I just wanted to kind of give you that comfort, like I was going to look after you and stuff like that as well.
No, you definitely have. Like I, say that to anyone. Like you generally do care. And it shows like some of the calls. Like you go in the calendar and it's like, oh, it's at 7 to 8 UK time or whatever. Those calls go on till like 3 hours. Like you'll see people in the chat like, "Oh, is this call still going? I've had a no show. Can I jump in?" Like you will be there and answer everyone's question. Like everyone, yeah. It's just you know, you can see how much you care about the people, and you can see that in the testimonials and the results as well. Like I don't need to say that. So yeah.
Savage. Well, there you have it, my good friends, handsome people over the internet. Seb Bowman, 22k in comms at 22 years old. We'll call it 22 because you only just turned 23, so 22, 22.
No, 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 I was 21, just turned 22.
Oh, wait, oh, right, so you was 21, just turned 22, so you're only 22. Fuck.
Yeah,
I said this in games yesterday. I was still playing Xbox at 20, like a fucking loser.
yeah.
Good shit, bro. Well done. Keep
Appreciate
making your
that.
mum proud, keep making yourself proud, and keep making me fucking proud. All right,
Yeah,
gangster.
appreciate that, bro.